are so, so blessed. Leah, thank you for that beautiful, beautiful treatment. And Robert. The global vision for 2016 is a world that works for everyone. And the theme for August is beauty, nature, art, and aesthetics. And my topic for this morning is creative expression. Now, can you imagine a life without creative expression, without beauty and art? Can you imagine a life in which all the buildings were just rectangles that are made of concrete, and all of the meals were just colorless and tasteless, even though they might be nutritious? Can you imagine a world in which stories were told just as the facts, ma'am, only the facts? Nothing embellishing them, nothing opening them up, nothing, no humor, no life in them? Well, I suspect you can't really imagine all of that. Because what I know is that we are beings that are made for creative expression. We are made for beauty. We are made to move forth in this life just expressing ourselves with love, with beauty, with art, with whatever Spirit brings through us. We create our lives. We create our reality. We know that in this teaching. We create the world that is around us. And we are the creators of what happens on this planet in the future. We get to do our part now. There's an absolutely amazing intelligence behind the creation of our planet. Think about it. And that same intelligence is what has birthed us, what has brought us into being. But the planet, I mean, it's amazing. We have the beauty of sunrises and sunsets. Did anybody else see the amazing sunset last night? I mean, it was incredible. We had to just go outside, sit on the deck, and watch it for a while because it was so beautiful. So we have that. We have bird songs. We have the sound and the feeling of the beautiful breeze moving through the trees. All over. There are colors in every season, colors in our gardens, colors in our clothes, colors in our smiles, colors in all that we are. And the thing is, we were created to appreciate this. If there wasn't within us that part, that piece of us that can really appreciate that, then all of this other stuff would be wasted. If we couldn't appreciate it, we wouldn't allow beautiful art to bring tears to our eyes. If we couldn't appreciate it, we wouldn't allow beautiful music to transport us into realms that we have never before experienced. If we couldn't appreciate it, if we weren't designed for that, it would kind of all be for nothing. But within each of us, there is something that responds to that. There is something that responds to beauty and art in all its forms, whether it's painting, dance, music, just scribbling, whatever it is, creation is happening through us, and we get to appreciate it, and we get to do it. I'm reminded of kids and the way they just love to share their art, because that's what we all want to do. I mean, don't you just know, Mommy, look what I made. Grandpa, I did this just for you. And then the looks on their faces when they see it up on the refrigerator? Like, you know, I think there's that part of all of us that wants to not only create it, but we want to share it. Because we were born to create. We were born to take what's around us and do something with it. We were born to take our ideas and run with them, to create new things, new processes, new architectural forms, new ways of doing things, new ways of moving from here to there, discovering new ways of communicating, coming to learn new ways of inspiring and touching each other in loving ways. And there is absolutely no mistake that we were made to do that. Because we, each one of us, and everyone on the planet, is an expression of that one creative thing that goes by many names. It's called Source. It's called the Great Intelligence. It's called Allah. We call it God or Spirit. Whatever you want to call it, that's what we are made of, and it is creation. And it is moving in, through, and as us. So we're here to create, and we're here to appreciate beauty. Now, I don't know for all of you, but sometimes life gets pretty busy. And sometimes I don't stop to notice the beauty that is around me. Has anyone here ever had a moment like that? Okay, yeah, I'm not the only one, great. So we are here to appreciate it, but we need to stop if we're going to appreciate it. Ernest Holmes said, "To be creative seems to be a fundamental drive that of necessity must find an outlet in a constructive manner if one is to be a full and complete human being." And we don't need to create masterpieces that are going to last 100 years. I mean, if you think about eternity, if you think about no end to the time and space, no end to our soul's experience somehow on some level, then what difference does it make whether something lasts for hundreds of years or for just long enough to touch our hearts, to open our hearts? Some of the most wonderful forms of art happen in a temporary way. The Buddhist monks, for example, they make sand mandalas. And what they do is they take all of this colored sand, they draw out a design, and then they have sand that they just place in the perfect places to make these intricate designs. Now, it usually takes a week or more for one of these beautiful sand mandalas to be created. And of course, they do it in a meditative state, and it's all very, very sacred. Then they leave it there to be viewed for a short period of time. Then they have a ceremony, and all of that sand that has been carefully placed gets swept up, all together, all mixed up. Sometimes they pass some of it out to people so they can take it home and put it on their altar or do whatever they want with it. But then they release it into a river or a stream. And the idea is that it reminds us that beauty can be so temporary and yet so sacred. And that everything in our life, everything in our world is, in some sense, temporary and impermanent. Other ways of doing that are ice sculptures, like this one. I mean, can you imagine the work that went into that? And what happens as soon as it warms up? I mean, it melts. And yet, There's just such beauty, such intricate work, and such a meditative state I think it must take to do something like that. Absolutely fantastic. And then there are beach sculptures. Beach sculptures that are created and enjoyed and then washed away with the tide. Washed away with the tide. But these temporary works of art are the very essence of creativity. The very essence of letting that flow in, through, and as us. And creating something, bringing something into form, is not the only way of creating beauty. Because sometimes what's needed is for us to clean things out, clear things out, let go of what is not needed, so that what is beautiful underneath the clutter can be revealed. So many ways to create beauty. In Thoughts Are Things, Ernest Holmes said, "There is always the greater possibility available to you. There is a divine strength and an infinite wisdom at the center of your being, ever waiting to be released. It will enable you to put more into life and living, and to take more out of it. A limitless creativity that's unreasonable." Oh wait, Ernest Holmes didn't say unreasonable. A limitless creativity exists and expresses through all that is. It's always seeking a fuller channel for expression through you. Recognize that it exists and accept its action in your life. We're here to create our lives and our relationships. We're here to create with our perspectives. So how are we using this creative ability? This creative imperative? What are the tools and the resources that we have? I kind of think of painting a picture. I like to look at things simply sometimes. The canvas represents unlimited possibility, beyond all reason, beyond anything that we have experienced before. The paint, the colors of paint, to me represent the myriad of choices that we have in life. We can choose what we do, we can choose where we hang out, we can choose who we spend time with, we can choose our thoughts. We get to choose. So we select our particular colors and put them on the canvas in our own particular way. No two paintings alike. And I think the brush can represent a core value, our core beliefs. And one of our core beliefs in our teaching is that we are one with the divine creative energy of the universe. We all get to use it, and we all use it in our own, sometimes very interesting ways. Because we all arrive on the planet with our own inclinations, with our own gifts and talents, with our own ways of creating beauty. Some, like Kathy Ham back here, is great with color. I mean, look at that. This was their project for Beyond Limits, and we all had our poster boards and had some interesting things on them. And then there's this piece of amazing art. So some people have that artistic ability. Others, like Robert, have the ability to create song. Not only to create it, but to share it with others in a way that is heart-opening. Thank you so much. Others create with words, writing poetry or literature. And I bet you all know somebody who creates beauty through their ability to bring joy and laughter wherever they are. So we get to choose. We get to choose which of our gifts we will let come forth as we create beauty. We choose with our thoughts. We choose with our focus. Of course, we can choose joy or we can choose pain. We can choose to be happy or unhappy. We can choose beauty or ugliness. We get to choose. Now, I know that all of us, as humans, have challenges in our lives. None of us comes through and just gets to never experience a challenge. Never have something standing in our way, like the things that we're going to be looking at in the workshop next week. Never have anybody. None of us are that way. We all have lost loved ones. We face illness. Jobs come and go. Money comes and goes. And if we live long enough, we get old. Now, what happens to us is not really as important as what we choose to do with it. For we are at choice, and that's where we get to create the beauty in our lives. Yeah, if we live long enough, we get to be 88 years old, huh? So I think that we're not necessarily here to create things that are going to last forever. We're here to create joy. We're here to share love. We are here to create beauty in our own way. And as we do that, as we open to appreciate and create and share beauty, we not only bless our own lives, but that ripples out, eventually contributing to a world that works for everyone. So we want to be the beauty and we want to share the beauty. We want to share the kind of love that sees beauty and wishes it for all people. We want to share the kind of joy that just steps up and wants to share that joy with all people everywhere. We want to share the kind of loving kindness that we talked about last week. Loving kindness that we extend to ourselves, to people we love, even to our enemies, that we extend to all people. For that loving kindness is just amazing. Did anybody play with that loving kindness meditation this week? Mm-hmm. Yes. Anybody care to share what that experience was like? Why am I looking at you? Huh?
No, I didn't do the meditation thing. I did do the daily, I'm sorry, not the affirmations. When you do let somebody go before you, or
kindness. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, act of kindness. And I was in the grocery store, and I had a big load, and there's two women who came behind me, and they had a few, and I said, "You go ahead and go ahead of me." And they go, "Oh, no, that's fine." I said, "No, really, I got to do one of these a day for my church." So.
Did it feel pretty good?
It felt good. Yeah. It felt good. Yeah.
So that's the kind of sharing of beauty, the sharing of love, the sharing of joy, especially when you have it as a homework assignment from the church, that can make a difference in our lives, that can help us to create lives that we love. So an important part of our soul's journey is expressing the creative nature that we have been gifted with. As we do that in ways that bring beauty, we bless not only ourselves, but everyone that we come in contact with, and all of those that it ripples out to. In Creative Living, Ernest Holmes said, "Every one of us personally has back of us the potential of the universe. There is an irresistible potential pressing against everyone for self-expression. If we listen, we shall hear it, not as a voice, but as a feeling, a divine urge to express. If we believe in it, it shall manifest through us. And if we keep our consciousness active and alive to it, the volume that flows through us by our consent will necessarily increase. He goes on to say, but we have to believe that it will. And so your homework, should you decide to accept it, is to remind yourself again and again and again this week of all of the beauty that is around you. To stop and see it and feel it, to share it, to create it. That you may even want to start a beauty journal in which you could make a list of all of the things that you see that are beautiful, the actions, the kindnesses that speak beauty to you, beautiful thoughts that you've had, beautiful things that you have created. Any kind of beauty at all, just put it down on that list. And I think you will be surprised to see just how fast that list can get long. Because of course we know in our teaching that what we focus on, we get more of. We focus on beauty, we get more of it. So I want to close with an affirmation by Dr. Deborah Gordon, who is from Center for Spiritual Living in Kelowna, British Columbia. Just breathe and take this in. Claim these words as your own. My creative expressions are everywhere present. I contribute to a world of beauty and wonder because this is my divine nature. I'm led to ever greater expression of my creative self in a world that is blessed and made ever more pleasing by my contribution. I am a conscious creator of delight. It comes through me with ease. A conscious creator of delight. It comes through me with ease. And so I invite practitioners, ministers, to stand with me in high consciousness as we move into prayer. Recognizing the one source of beauty, the one source of creation, the one source of love, of joy, of all that is. The one source that has birthed each one of us here. I am one with that almighty creative essence, as is everyone who hears my voice. Everyone on the planet. For there is only one. There is one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. And so knowing that, I know that the creative process is mine to use. It is my pleasure and responsibility to speak my truth, to create with my words, to call forth from the amazing creative power just what I want to see and experience, just what I'm willing to accept for myself and for others. And so what I claim is that as each of us goes forward this week, our path is filled with beauty. It comes to us in ways that we cannot ignore it. It reminds us of the importance of beauty, art, aesthetics. It reminds us that we are here to appreciate it, to create it, to share it. And so we do. I claim that for each of us, there is an ease and a grace that allows us to shine forth our light and our beauty, blessing others in our family, others in our workplace, others in our spiritual community, others in our state, others in the nation, others in the world. For as we share this beauty, as we claim this beauty as ours, we're doing what we came here to do, expressing the divine. And so I know that everything necessary to make all that I have called forth easy, gentle, has already been provided. Spirit has filled our paths with all that's needed, all the connections, all the ideas, all the resources, and we go forth in beauty, recognizing beauty as beauty. And so in my gratitude, I simply release this into that part of God that we call the law, the part that knows how to make everything come into manifestation, has all the stuff and all of the know-how to bring this forth as our reality. That's what I release my word into. I know that it's done right here, right now, and going forward for each of us. And I invite you to say with me.
And so it is.